was there a moment in your career where you went from, passively finding yourself in a situation or a job to where you went to proactively orchestrating your career?
Yeah, definitely. And this one, it's a really good one because I think it's all about intention in the end. And during, I guess, my first years, like I said, it really, a lot happened to me. Obviously, I was intentional with my studies and how I kind of built out my foundation to a greater degree. But it wasn't really until I started to clearly articulate and reflect on, what I really wanted to do and where I wanted to go. And this is where your personal development plan and similar would come into play, or at least I started to write down, what I wanted to become, or what I wanted to learn, and started to circulate that both with my manager, but also with peers or other colleagues. And that also made me, the more I kind of spoke about, where I wanted to go or what I wanted to learn, and really also understand what I needed to learn in order to get those opportunities. It really started to become more intentional and honestly put it on paper. And the more you talk about it, the more of a reality it became. So that for me, and this is it's a few years back now, but that was definitely kind of those defining moments for me. Put it down on paper and start to talk about it, and then obviously build a plan towards how to achieve the goals.
What triggered that decision to become intentional and write it down and kind of pursue it? There was there an aha moment, or was it just something that happened? How did that come about?
Yeah, it's a good one. I think definitely this happened, over time. I knew quite early on that I would like to be part of a team or a company or something where I could make a difference, where I could, impact to a certain degree. And the more, I guess, experienced I became with my previous jobs, the more I realized that, getting into a leadership position and being able to sort of influence and scale and support others to grow and go to the the direction which I would believe would be the right one. That's when it sort of started, like a bit of, I guess, movement in my head. But yeah, it took some time because, I mean, honestly, I had a lot of, really, really good years, also in the very beginning with HB. Like, we had so much fun, learned a lot. Obviously, it's a large organization. And then it kind of sort of, refined over the years. But definitely it was, it was something that grew over time. And with ServiceNow, I think that was the great opportunity, given how fast that company grew and the opportunities that came along.
Do you still write things down now? Has that continued into the present day?
Yeah, I do. I have a little bit of a different structure maybe today. I mean, we have also at AVEVA, we have our development plans and we have check-ins with our managers, and obviously I run the same with my team. But I have a little bit of a weekly routine where I write down kind of, I guess, the very short-term goals, and then I have with myself in terms of a quarterly kind of priority list. And yes, I do have a kind of a longer, 1+ year vision as well. And I do, it's sort of a once a year exercise for myself, where I kind of go through sort of past year, and then I look at, what are the learnings I made, but also what I would really like to kind of prioritize the coming maybe year or 2 or 3 years. So yeah, there is a little bit of a structure still, and it's probably, I think, useful for anyone just to do a little bit of a check-in with yourself. There is a little bit of a structure.
I mean, I've heard of other people doing this as well, writing things down, and whether you want to call it manifesting or whether it's just planning or just But I've not done it before myself. I have it in my head, but I don't write it down, and I probably should. But I mean, am I right in thinking that it can be scary to write something down and almost not commit to it, but set yourself that goal and then revisiting that in a year's or 2 years' time, and perhaps realizing it's either gone a different direction, it hasn't quite happened the way you'd had intended it. Is it scary, or is it actually really helpful and not scary at all?
Well, I mean, I've done it for so many years, so it's became, where it becomes a routine for me, but also, reflect on why you write it down, because it should ideally be only for yourself. I mean, you're not doing anything for anyone else in this example. So, I mean, being honest with yourself with what you really would like to achieve. And then it's also easier to kind of break it down and look at what are the kind of the stepping stones in order to go there. But also maybe not achieving what you initially aspire to achieve. Like, it's not a failure. And I think that's an important reflection as well. Because if you're not doing it, either, what happened during along the way that either delayed your process, or maybe something happened, you want to change direction.